everybody, my name is Jack Quinn. Welcome back to the channel. We are back at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Alsco Uniforms 300 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We're going to go into the Neon Garage for Cup practice and qualifying. Josh Berry will be running his first laps in a number 9 Hendrick Chevrolet, as yesterday Chase Elliott underwent a successful surgery for his leg injury, and Josh Berry will be in the 9 for today and tomorrow in the Cup Series, but he's got an Xfinity race to deal with. So we are currently outside of the track. We're over by the South Point tent here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're gonna go through the gate, we're gonna go into the Neon Garage, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, so we just got our tickets scanned. We're heading underneath the grandstands, but we have a restart rally towel for the Alsco Uniforms 300. Cars are heading out onto the track for Cup practice, so we're gonna go into the Neon Garage. You guys are gonna see what it's like to get to the Neon Garage here in a bit. I realized I had made a mistake. I said that Joey Logano was last year's winner. I completely forgot about Bowman winning the Pennzoil 400 last year. Joey Logano won the Pennzoil 400 in 2021. Excuse my miscalculation there. I apologize. He's currently third fastest, Chris Buescher fourth, and William Byron in 5th for Group A practice as it stands right now. As you see, you get close up to the action here on pit lane, as that is the track right behind me. That is the front straightaway. We are really close here in the pit lane here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're going to try and get some drivers, because actually, as I was coming in up into the pit area, up on the top of the media center over there, up on the top of the media center, Richard Childress was up there watching practice. So I might be able to get an opportunity to talk to Richard Childress, but I also may be able to talk to some of the other drivers up and down pit lane if I can get an opportunity to. So that is how close we are. Josh Berry in the 9 car, doing not too bad, currently sitting at 13th on the leaderboard as it stands for Group A. But this is how close you can get to the action here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. There is the 9 of Josh Berry this weekend. Richard Childress, team owner for Austin Dillon in the 3 and Kyle Busch. Problems for Harrison Burton, crash in practice. Oh, blew a tire going into 1. Blew a tire going into 1, and around it went. Ooh, fuck. So, early trouble, Harrison Burton going to a backup early. Oof, good lord. Last year's winner, Joey Logano, speaking with Ryan Blaney. There's Josh Berry talking to William Byron. Daniel Suarez just walked past. As his pit crew is over there. Last week's winner, Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch. Alex Bowman. Qualifying currently going on here. Watching Byron. Top 5 advance to the next round. Fastest. For Josh Berry in Group A. Ooh, boy. Ross Chastain driving the one. And well, he actually can take it a step further this year. The 10 of Eric Almirola, followed by the 14 of Chase Briscoe. The 23, Bubba Wallace. And the 11, Denny Hamlin. There's the 48. Alex Bowman just missing the cutoff to advance to the next round of qualifying.
Can you sign us?
Alrighty, so I am standing in pit lane with Carson Hocevar, driver of the number 42 truck for Nice Motorsports. So you raced against Kyle Busch last night, and a lot of fans don't usually agree with Kyle Busch racing in the lower series, but how was perspective from a driver feel racing against one of the best in the sport?
Yeah, I like it. I like racing against Kyle just because if truck series is a stepping stone, right? It's single A baseball. really. So how often do you get to play, you know, against the guy who won on Sunday, you know? So if you can beat him, you really did something. You know, it's bigger than just a normal truck win, right? You beat the best, and Kyle's one of the best, and you know that's the benchmark. And even when I run with Ross, you know, I like Ross coming and running, and adds credibility to what I say and my feedback. If we match up, we always have similar setups, similar race trucks. So I like it. I don't like getting beat by him, obviously, but he's makes us work all that much harder. And if we can beat him, you know, it'll make our lives a lot easier, and you know, make us able to, when he's not there, just be that much better.
Now, there were some travel issues with some of the pit crews in that. How did that affect you, if any at all?
It didn't for me. I wish some of them were later. That way I could take advantage of that. But no, my team was here, so it was all good for me. And they were there most of the day, anyways. So they came on the early flight. So that was all good with me.
Now, you won stage 2 in the race, but before stage 2 and even after stage 2, how was the truck handling?
It was a little tight in dirty air. We struggled a little bit. When I was in clean air, I could really maintain, I could really take advantage, and I could be that guy and be really annoying and mirror drive people and kind of manipulate them, even Kyle. You know, we went back and forth once or twice. His truck was better than mine, but I could, his was just that much worse in traffic that I could really kind of keep him up on the ropes and kind of hold off, and like I said, almost delay the inevitable of him getting to me and beating me. But if I made his life miserable and kind of let everybody else kind of take advantage of him, I could kind of get a run away, and that's how we won stage 2. And unfortunately, they all got to short pit me and flip the strategy, and I had to restart 13th and only got back to 7th. But I think overall, if I could have kept the lead, I think I ran 2nd or 3rd. I think Kyle was way too good, but there was, I think, 10 seconds to P2, and I thought we were right with, maybe a little better than 38, who ran 2nd. His stuff was really good though, but I thought that's kind of where we ranked, was right around him. We qualified the same and kind of raced around each other all day. So, but 10 points is playoff point that we keep all the way till Phoenix is more valuable than, you know, having a shot maybe. For long term.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
That was Carson Hocevar, driver of the number 42 truck for Nice Motorsports. He won stage 2. Ultimately a good run for Carson Hocevar. We just couldn't quite get over the hump with Kyle Busch. Xfinity cars getting rolled out to the grid here at Las Vegas. And there's the 10. Going to be driven by Kyle Busch today. Alrighty, so qualifying is done. Joey Logano will be on the pole for the Pennzoil 400 here at Las Vegas. The Xfinity cars just are getting rolled out to the grid as we speak. But hearing the insight from Carson Hocevar last night is really, really cool to be able to talk with Carson about what it's like racing with Kyle Busch, because I know a lot of fans don't like it when some of the guys from the Cup Series jump down in race in like the Xfinity Series or Truck Series. So hearing the insight from one of the regulars, it was really cool to be able to communicate that with and be able to get some insight from someone who races regularly in the Truck Series. So I appreciate Carson for taking the time out of his day. He was standing with Ross over at Trackhouse during qualifying. So to take time out of his day to come speak to someone that's not as well known in the media world and is someone that didn't even have a media pass is really cool is really cool as a fan of the sport, and to be able to bring that sort of insight to you guys is really awesome. And there is is your pole sitter for the Pennzoil 400. Live look here in the Neon Garage, as qualifying is now over for the Pennzoil 400. Field has been set, as we are here in the blue garage, here in the Neon Garage. As pre-race will be starting soon. As you see the work going on the 21 car for Harrison Burton, as they are moving to a backup car after their practice crash. And there you can see the decals that will be going on this 21 car. There is the damage that's on the primary car for Harrison Burton. They'll try and get that backup race ready for tomorrow for the Pennzoil 400. They'll be starting at the back of the field as they were unable to make a qualifying lap. More work being done on Harrison Burton's backup car. There's the car that will lead the field to green tomorrow. It's a nice looking car. Reminds me of Steve Park. One of Ross Chastain and the 5 of Kyle Larson here in the Neon Garage. That's as snarky as you can get here in the Neon Garage here in Vegas. Kevin Harvick making his final Pennzoil 400 start here at Vegas, as he will be retiring at season's end. So that is the Neon Garage area. That used to be a stage, now it's a relax zone. There's a stage over there. You have skee ball here, you have beanbag toss, cornhole, you have foosball table, you have air hockey over on the other side of that. There's a lot of stuff that you can do here in the Neon Garage. This is all different from when I was last down here, but it is still real cool. That is a big foosball table. Good lord. That is a really big foosball table. That is a long one. And just all this different stuff that you can do here in the Neon Garage here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's different than any other garage in the NASCAR schedule, but it is definitely fun. So, without further ado, we're gonna go back on the pit road, see if we can't get any more drivers. And then we're gonna go to our seats for pre-race and for the Alsco Uniforms 300. Xfinity teams setting up their pit boxes for today's race. See the 7 guys working on their pit box. Over here is the 18 of Sammy Smith Jr. Along here.
Not gonna end well today.
That was interesting. So that was definitely fun to work with. Technically, got to work with the 7 crew on fixing these things. So that was a little interesting. The wind just grabbed it and just moved it. And we I kind of helped with all the guys' crew, try and figure out what to do, try and fix it, try and figure out how to keep it from moving like that again. We're reaching towards the end of pit lane, as you can see over here. We're
towards the end, we're now kind of sort of entering turn one.
But it's interesting to see the teams work on getting their pit boxes set up for the race. Try to get Cole Custer. He denied it. He had to get to driver intros, which understandable. But the wind could play a factor on the handling of these cars. So it's going to be an interesting race to see for sure. So we'll see. They actually had to put down some of the TVs that are in the garage area and pit lane area because they were just blowing around. So they had to drop them. As you hear pit crew training going on behind us. But they had to put those down, and then the cars as well, they can slide around in that. So the wind could create for some very interesting racing, some very interesting handling cars as we go on through the race. The wind is expected to be around 30 to 40 miles per hour today. And tomorrow, same thing, 30 to 40 miles per hour winds. So that could create some handling issues for these cars, for the Xfinity cars and the next gen cars. So we'll see how that goes, but we're going to continue doing our pit walk. Try and get some drivers, maybe not, we'll see. But if not, take you guys up and down pit lane, take a look at some of the pit boxes, where some of the drivers will be pitting today for the Alsco Uniforms 300. And we'll be in the stands here shortly for the start of the race for everything.
Justin Allgaier, driver of the number 7.
Again, I cut myself off. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Alrighty, so I am here with Parker Kligerman in the 48 for Big Machine Racing. You're back full time. How does that feel?
It's awesome. Love this team. Thank you, Scott Borchetta, everyone at Spike Course, make it happen. There's a lot for me to learn right now, but we're doing a great job. We've got fast cars. That's what matters.
Thank you. Well, there you have it. Parker Kligerman, driver of the 48 for Big Machine Racing, back full time in the Xfinity Series, back full time in NASCAR in general after being part-time in the Truck Series, running a couple races there, and then being a part of the NBC broadcast team as a pit reporter. So NBC is going to be down a man for 2023, but it's awesome to see Parker Kligerman back full-time in the Xfinity garage and the NASCAR garage just in general. So it's really cool to see, and drivers are busy, so for Kligerman to take that little bit of time to sit and chat with a fan is really cool, because these drivers are on a very, very tight and quick schedule. So they just got out of the drivers meeting, and I caught him as he was coming back out of the bathroom. So Justin Allgaier actually also came out of the bathroom, because they got out of driver intros and then just booked it to the porta potties that are out here in pit lane for the pit crews and that. And then Allgaier kind of bolted out, got stopped by a couple of fans, signed some autographs, and then Kligerman just bolted out. And I was like, wait, Parker! So it's really cool. You get really up close with the drivers and their teams with the Neon Garage. There's certain passes that you can get to actually get onto pit road and get further into pit lane and get closer and closer. But now we are going to head into our seats. We're going to take you back through the tunnel to get back to our seats. And we'll be there for opening ceremonies. Garage area while the national anthem was playing, so I am out of breath. My chest is hurting, but we made it. We're here. Let's go racing. Green flag, here we go. Chandler Smith did not get going. Or as that, Chandler Smith? 3 wide already. Good Lord. Right as I ended, Parker Kligerman spins in the middle of turn 2. Caution is out already. It's problems early for Parker Kligerman. Looking at the replay, he got help from John Hunter Nemechek. He got help. So caution out here on lap 3 of the Alsco Uniforms 300. Stage 1 winner, John Hunter Nemechek. Somebody lost a tire, and it looks to have been the Alpha Prime car. Jusco. Green flag for stage 2. Josh Berry was battling with Riley Herbst to try and get into the top 10 and just got loose underneath and went around. And just slid right through the grass. Car looks to be fine, no damage to the splitter, but Josh Berry went for a spin through the infield. Here for the restart after Josh Berry's spin. Allgaier, Chandler Smith side by side. Kyle Busch in third, battling the 21 of Austin Hill. This could get interesting. Allgaier out in front. Let's go, baby. Kyle Busch in the clutches of Brandon Jones there. One car spun, caution is out. Stage 2 is going to enter a caution, which means Austin Hill will be your Stage 2 winner. So it looks like Raja Caruth went around turn 1 and 2.
Just a little bit, mess that one up. Yeah, what did he do wrong?
Austin Hill wins stage number 2. Justin Allgaier got black flagged after the restart after Josh Berry's spin. And the reason for it was because he changed his lane before they got to the start-finish line. He jumped down to below the apron before they got to the start-finish line. I thought it was because he jumped it, but Chandler Smith, who was the leader, started it but spun his tires. So Allgaier was able to get a good jump, but then he went below the white line and changed his lane and got penalized for it. So he had to do a pass-through. Thankfully, he stayed on the lead lap, but he's going to be at the tail end of the field. So stage 3 will be here underway for the remainder of this race. He'll work his way back up. I'm not worried about it. But just costly mistake for Allgaier. Could have won stage 2, but a mistake like that happens. But there's been some really good racing going on around all over the place. There was a good battle towards the middle of the pack. It was almost an accident. Joe Graff got loose, and one of the cars drove underneath, like right on the apron, and almost spun doing so. But there's been some battles all over the place. It's been some really good racing. No one's been able to drive away because John Hunter Nemechek had the lead and then lost it and fell back to like 4th when Josh Berry spun. And he was driven down, got hunted down by Chandler Smith, Allgaier, Kyle Busch. Now Kyle Busch is 3rd. Brandon Jones was coming in, racing with Kyle Busch. They were both trying to hunt down the 21 of Austin Hill. So it's been some really good racing. It's been fun. Battles all over the place as Pit Road is very busy at the moment. Let's get this final stage underway. It is windy. You can only imagine how it is on the track right now if it's windy up here. Three wide for the lead. 3 wide for the lead. Kyle Busch led the lap. Let's go. Hill, your winner. There's the rest of your top 5. Justin Allgaier 2nd, Chandler Smith 3rd, 4th is the 10 to Kyle Busch. Josh Berry will finish 8th, and Jonathan Nemechek will finish 6th here at Las Vegas. But Austin Hill, your winner. All right, well, there you have it. That is the Alsco Uniforms 300, day 2 of the weekend completed. Austin Hill is your winner. So no, it's now been confirmed that no three-peats for Kyle Busch as he finished 4th in today's race. You got a feel for Chandler Smith though. He dominated this race, and for him to come up 3rd and lose the lead coming to the white flag, you got a feel for the guy. But we're gonna go around, we're gonna check out some of the stuff at the Speedway because it is still early enough. Things will be open, so we're gonna go around and explore. But that is the Alsco Uniforms 300 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Austin Hill, your winner. He is now a 2-time winner this season in 2023, as he won Daytona earlier this season to kick off 2023. And then he comes in and wins here at Vegas. So not bad for Austin Hill. He's got a few points in his in the playoff books. He is a guaranteed lock now. If we get more than 12 winners in the Xfinity Series, he'll be a guaranteed lock because he has 2 wins now. So we're gonna go around. We're gonna explore a little bit here on the outside of the track, and it is windy right now. It is very windy right now. So we're gonna try and get warm here. All right, well, that was the Alsco Uniforms 300 here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It is severely windy right now. It was pretty damn windy. The flagpole at the back was like bent. So that was rather interesting. It wasn't as windy up in the stands. Like, there was a bit of a gust, but in, like, on the track, you can just see how windy it was just by the pit boxes. I mean, it's to the point where my car is literally moving and the camera is swaying. But overall, it was a good race. There's a lot of racing going on all over the place. All of stage 3 went green. It went green the entire time, which is something that you don't normally see here in Vegas, is an entire stage going green, especially for the Xfinity Series. We've had maybe a couple of cautions in the past race within stage 3, but never gone green all the way. So that was interesting to see. But overall, the product of racing has been really good. It's going to be interesting to see how the Cup cars will handle tomorrow. Really looking forward to see how Josh Berry does in the 9 for Chase, which news for that, he's went successful surgery and will be out several weeks, but there's no definitive timeline for Chase Elliott to return. So Chase Elliott, as we know, could be out for at least a month or 2. So I don't know if Josh Berry will continue to race the 9 or if someone else will come in and race the 9. But as it stands, Josh Berry is in this weekend at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. There's a lot of changes that I'm gonna have to get used to in the garage, because last year we came for the spring race. We didn't come for the fall, which that would have been interesting to come in, especially with the Bubba Wallace and Kyle Larson incident. That would have been interesting to cover when we were there. if we were there, but I wasn't there in September last year for the South Point 400 weekend. I don't know if I will be there this weekend for the South Point 400. So that is a definitive maybe. I'm lucky enough to be here this weekend, but there's a lot of changes that I'm gonna have to get used to in the Cup garage, really. The main one, obviously, Kyle Busch being in the 8, there not being an 18 in the Cup garage, the 54 being in the Cup garage, Tyler Reddick in the 45, and in a Toyota nonetheless. There's a couple other changes as well that I'm gonna have to get used to that I can't think of off the top of my head, but it was really cool to be able to actually talk with Carson Hocevar and Parker Kligerman. I know I mentioned it when it happened, but it was really cool. It was really cool to be able to do that. And not all drivers do that. You know, there's some that do, some that don't. But for those two to kind of take time out of their day and their schedule, just to sit and just talk about racing with a fan is really cool. My car is shaking with this wind. Like, there's just dust just flying up from the parking lot. Because it's like, it's asphalt, but it's also like compacted gravel. It's weird. So there's a lot of loose dirt and gravel on the ground here in the parking lot here at the Speedway. And I'm filming this segment right now as I'm waiting for traffic to kind of die down over that way. But it's still really cool for those guys to do that, you know, just to take time and talk to someone who doesn't have a media pass, has a small platform, being able to just talk. It was really cool to get insight from Hocevar about what it's like to race against some of the Cup guys that come down, because the fan base is very much against Cup guys coming down and racing in the Xfinity Series or the Truck Series, mainly the Truck Series. And a lot of that has to do with Kyle Busch, because he's been the one that has always come in, and every time he comes in, he always seems to win. Whereas sometimes, like when Ross came down and comes down in the Truck Series, he doesn't always win. You know, he runs up front, he runs well, he's competitive, but he doesn't win. He doesn't always win. And even some of the other guys that come down, like Chase Elliott 2 weeks ago at Daytona, raced in the Truck Series for Bill McAnally Racing in the 35. You got Travis Pastrana, who's racing in the 500, was racing in the truck race. It just, over the last few years, especially in the Xfinity Series, you had like Joey Logano coming down in, you had Brad Keselowski coming in and racing, you had Kyle Busch. Even now in today's race, you had Tyler Reddick in the race today in the 24 car for Sam Hunt Racing. I'm trying to remember the team. But you had Tyler Reddick in the 24 for Sam Hunt Racing. You had Kyle Busch in the 10. Last week you had Austin Dillon in the 10 for Colleague, and Tyler Reddick in the 24. I mean, Cup guys will still come down and race in that if they are given the opportunity to race, because they just want to race. AJ Allmendinger is going to be coming down into the Xfinity Series for a couple of races on the road courses and running races with Colleague in the Xfinity Series. So just, I'm not overly against it. I think it's good for the sport. It's very unique to be able to do that compared to any other sport. Because you don't usually get that. You know, you have the XFL, you have the USFL, but you don't see your NFL guys going down and playing in those. You know, you don't have like Tom Brady going in to play quarterback, you know, or like in baseball, you don't see like Brandon Crawford go down and play in the minors just for fun, and then play in the MLB the next day. In hockey, you don't see like Ovechkin go down and play in the minor league team in the AHL, and then going into play in the NHL. You know, you don't usually see that. So it's what's different for NASCAR in the sports sense, but also in the motorsports sense as well. Because you look at IndyCar, you have Indy Lights. You don't see, you know, Will Power, Joseph Newgarden, and Scott Dixon going down and racing in the Indy Lights. While there's the drivers wanting to get into IndyCar racing in the Indy Lights. You know, in Formula 1, you don't see like Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton racing in Formula 2 or Formula 3. You know, they stick to where they are at. Whereas the NASCAR, you have the Cup guys going down and racing in the Xfinity Series or the Truck Series. You know, the minor divisions to lead up to the Cup Series. You know, so it's good for the sport. It sets it apart. It gets it different. Plus, I think it's a good opportunity for some of the lower guys in the Xfinity and Truck Series to prove themselves, to put their name out there and say, hey, I can race alongside these guys. I can go out and I can beat them. And especially if you beat them, that is a huge thing. If you can go out there and beat these guys, and beat the cup regulars in the trucks or in the Xfinity Series, and to get your name out there. You know, you saw in the truck race, you had Nick Sanchez racing alongside Kyle Busch for a while and actually passed Kyle Busch. You had Carson Hocevar winning stage 2, Zane Smith winning stage 1. You know, there was a lot of drivers being able to race alongside Kyle Busch and give him, not make it easy for Kyle Busch. It was just Kyle Busch's truck had such a good long run truck that he was able to just eventually pull away. And in the Xfinity race, you didn't really see anybody pull away. Yes, you had Chandler Smith leading for over 100 laps in the race, and he pulled away. But as you guys saw, Austin Hill was able to reel him back in, and ended up passing him coming to the white. And Justin Allgaier passed him, and Chandler Smith finished third. Which it hurts to see that for Chandler Smith, you know, being dominant all race, to lose it coming to the last lap. It's gotta suck. You can't help but feel sorry for Chandler Smith and feel gutted for him, because he was dominant. He was the class of the field all race. And Justin Allgaier had a great long run car, and he was able to run down and got into second before green flag pit stops happened, and fell back to fourth, and was able to come back in and finished second in the race to Austin Hill. But Austin Hill was up front all day as well. He was top 2 or top 5 all race, so it was good to see. And those three, especially beating out Kyle Busch, is really cool to see. And it's interesting not seeing Kyle Busch win in the Xfinity Series, because he usually does. But to see Kyle Busch still run well, and even during driver introductions when they announced Kyle Busch, there was still a lot of cheers. And I was down in pit lane when that was going on, and I could hear just the roar of cheers coming from the grandstands when they announced Kyle Busch. It's still so weird to hear that and experience that, because again, as I said in the truck series, in the truck race, it's still very weird to hear cheers for Kyle, because I've been coming here for years, and anyone who's gone to the races knows that Kyle Busch got booed. There was very little cheers for Kyle Busch, and there was a lot of boos for Kyle Busch. And to now be hearing very little boos and a lot of cheers for Kyle Busch, it's very weird. It plays tricks on you, because like it's not like it should be, and it's weird. I don't know if that has a lot to do with him going to RCR and being Chevy, or if it was just the fact of him leaving Joe Gibbs. That could have played a part into it. But you know, you never know. But before I drag on too long, we do have a partnership with Doobie Energy. Use promo code Quinn77 at checkout to receive 10% off of your order. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. If you like that, if you like this, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload again. Give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. And as always, I will see you guys in the very next episode. Peace.